Always the Quiet Ones by Eddie 13. Chapter 1, only chapter. Eat your heart out, cupcakes. The streets were dark and thick. Heavy clouds blocked out the moon and the stars as the young girl was heading home. All right, that's it, Sunset said sternly to herself as her legs pumped up and down. From now on, I end my evening jogs at sunset. Promising myself to keep going until there's no sunlight is going to get me lost one day. Fortunately for Sunset, she was in a familiar neighborhood, so she was able to navigate her way home in the dark. Okay, if I turn right at the corner, it'll take me to Fluttershy Street. From there, I'll only be 3 blocks away from my house. Making a turn, the big-colored girl went straight down the street, having been in this area so many times before, walking through it like it was second nature to her. By now, the street lamps were flickering on, giving the teens some illumination. As sunset walked on, the wind started picking up, a howling, bouncing wail, echoing off everything it blew over, being the only thing that she could hear in the eerily silent street. Okay, Sunset muttered to herself. Things are starting to get a little creepy around here. At that moment, a loud clatter sounded behind her. Ah! Sunset cried as he turned to see the source, eyeing a knocked-over trash can and an alley cat digging into the pile of overturned garbage. Calming herself, the teen turned away and continued her way. Okay, keep it together, Sunset, she was reassuring herself. You're just letting the surroundings get to you. Just get home and you'll be fine. By now, Sunset could see Fluttershy's house in the distance, causing her to relax. She knew that once she passed that, she'd only be halfway from her house. Coming up on her shy friend's home, she felt her highly strung nerves fade away. Feeling more composed, she was about to pick up her pace and jog faster back home, not a care in the world in her mind. To get a good glimpse of her friend's home, Sunset saw a single light in Fluttershy's upstairs bedroom. Guess he's doing some late night studying, Sunset thought to herself as she was about to continue on her way. Fluttershy, what are you doing? Keeping the girl's voice from the light in the room, causing Sunset to stop in her tracks and turn back to the house. Brow was raised in confusion. That sounded like Rainbow Dash. That's strange. What would Rainbow Dash be doing at Fluttershy's house this late? Now, Rainbow, don't resist, came another voice that Sunset recognized, though it seemed to lack normal timidness. You've known this was coming for a long time. The manner of speaking Fluttershy surprised Sunset. Was that really Fluttershy? Okay, Fluttershy, enough's enough! Death sounded oddly terrified, much to Sunset's surprise. She thought the athletic girl really got scared. Joke's over! Who's joking? Fluttershy's voice said in an aggressive, almost dangerous tone. I'm downright serious about this. Sunset's eyes widened in shock. What was going on there? Fluttershy, think for a second. Rainbow's voice sounded panicking. This isn't like you at all. But that's why you are wrong, Rainbow. Fluttershy's voice said in a manner that sent chills down Sunset's spine. I'm not the shy, timid girl you and yours think I am. There's more to me than you can even imagine. Sunset couldn't believe what she was hearing. Was that really Fluttershy saying all that? Fluttershy? Dazzle's voice said quiverly. You're scaring me! Good. Fluttershy's voice said with a malicious chuckle. That's what I want. By now, Sunset was sweating like she had just run a 1,000-mile marathon. Her teeth were chattering, her knees were knocking as she slowly began to back away. Just then, there was a sound of rummaging, followed by something being picked up. Fluttershy, what are you doing with that? Rainbow's voice said in absolute terror. Put it down! Oh, I think not, Rainbow, Fluttershy's voice said wickedly. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Sunset's eyes widened in terror, his skin turned pale. Was Fluttershy about to do what she thought? Fluttershy! Dazzle's voice spoke, her usual bravado and confidence gone, sounding like she became a scared little girl. Keep away from me with that! Now stop screaming and hold still, Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy's voice ordered. It won't be any fun if you keep moving. But then again, maybe it will. Sunset's pupils couldn't grow any larger as she backed up even faster, her heart in her throat. Fluttershy wasn't. Fluttershy! Professor Dax's voice whispered. No! 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 A horrified classic cry erupted from Fluttershy's bedroom, causing Sunset to jump in shock and land in a heap on the ground. with wide eyes. Her hair was standing on end, her breath caught in her lungs, and skin as white as a ghost. Sunset looked back out to the window. Please let me hear Rainbow's voice, she prayed to herself. Please let me hear Rainbow's voice. Please let me hear Rainbow's voice. Unfortunately, there was nothing but silence hanging in the air. The Sunset continued looking up with suspense. Suddenly, the light in Fluttershy's bedroom went out, and the whole house went dark. Without wasting a second, Sunset immediately leapt off the ground and sped down the street to the corner, where she stopped for a moment, pressed herself to the side of the fence, her heart beating like never before. Okay, she said to herself in a frenzied manner. I did not hear what I thought I heard. I did not hear Fluttershy murder Rainbow Dash. Despite her words, she didn't feel any reassured as she continued her fast-paced walk back to her house. The next morning came fairly quickly, and Sunset looked like she barely got any sleep, her mind still fixated on what she had heard the previous night. A bad dream. She was trying to convince herself as she forced herself out of bed and got ready for the day. That's all it was just a bad dream. Uneasily, Sunset came out of her house and stepped off the porch, taking in the view of surroundings. Everything seemed to look quite eerie to her. Dark clouds appeared to be hanging in the sky, making it look dreary, and the things were oddly quiet, and everything seemed dully colored. As Sunset walked to the sidewalk, she couldn't help but feel apprehensive, as if something was going to leap out and attack her at any moment. Calm yourself, Sunset, she tried to alleviate herself. You have nothing to worry about. Last night did not happen. One of your friends was not boasted by another. Nothing to be stressed about. I'm Sunset! What are you thinking about? Sunset jumped in surprise, letting a startled yap. Wow, Pinkie Pie said in amazement. You're more cheering than me after 12 hours of espresso. The beating on her chest saw her heart. Sunset turned to address the party to her. Pinkie, how many times do I have to tell you not to do that? Sorry, Pinkie said apologetically. I saw you from the other side of the street and you looked like you were in deep thought, so I decided to see what was up. What's in your mind, Sunny? Sunset sighed. I think I heard something bad happen last night. Uh-oh. Sunset said what Pinkie said with a frown. That's never good. What was it? I can't say it here. Sunset shook her head and tilted around in case they were being watched before whispering to the party-loving girl. Look, call Twilight, Rarity, and Applejack and tell them to meet us at the Sugar Cube corner before school. Alright, Pinkie Pie said, reaching to her pocket for her cell phone. Oh, why not Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash? No! Sunset cried in panic before calming herself. I mean, this is just something I need to tell you for. Wow, Pinkie Pie said with wide eyes. This is a really big thing, isn't it? Possibly, Sunset said nervously. Once Pinkie Pie had assembled those Sunset had wanted present at Sugar Cube Corner, she began explaining to the group everything she had witnessed the previous night. The four girls and one talking dog listened with wide eyes and open mouths as Sunset went on. And then the upstairs light went off. I ran like crazy all the way back home, Sunset offensively before taking a deep breath and letting her long-winded tale. That's what happened. Oh my, Rarity gasped as she and the others finished taking in what they just heard. Sunset, are you sure you weren't mistaken what you heard? The bacon-colored-haired girl reluctantly shook her head. I wish I did, but I know what I heard. Still, Rarity continued, I'm on the other side of Fluttershy doing something so horrifying. I just can't comprehend it. Neither can I, Twilight imputed. After all the time I've spent with her, I think I've gotten a grasp of Fluttershy's character. I find it difficult to believe that she has the capacity to do anything atrocious. Yeah, Spike added. Anyone who can get the best belly rubs can't be the Melissa's type. Yeah, Pinkie Pie piped in. Fluttershy offing Rainbow would be as crazy as seeing like a sleety toad, turning people into pastries. This got a look from everyone. What? I have to say, Applejack sat up. I'm inclined to agree with the majority, Sunset. I think you misheard what was going on in Fluttershy's house last night. I like to believe that, Sunset said, but I also like to believe what I heard with my own 2 ears. Then you believe your eyes, Sunset, Applejack said with conviction. All we need to do is go to school and we'll find Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash waiting for us in the courtyard. She's right, Sunset, Rarity added. The two of them are probably waiting for us in the school right now. It does seem like the best way to prove that you didn't hear what you thought, Twilight shrugged. Yeah, Pinkie Pie said with a grin. Once we sort out the misunderstanding and get Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash's side of the story, we can all have a big laugh about it. Sunset smiled as he felt the weight lift off her shoulders. You girls are probably right. When we get to the school and see Rainbow Dash, I'll know I was fretting over nothing. Soon enough, arriving at school, the group of five found Fluttershy standing around the courtyard, all by herself with Rainbow Dash nowhere near in sight. Then again, maybe not, Sunset said monotonously, her earlier positive attitude dropping like a stone. No, don't panic, Rarity said reassuringly. Rainbow's absence is probably just perfectly innocent. Of course he is, Applejack added. Dice is probably just somewhere else off around here. Don't worry, Fluttershy can tell us where she is. Come on. With that, the group walked over to the statue where Fluttershy was standing. Oh, hi, Fluttershy, Applejack called out with a wave. Oh, the pink-haired girl sensed surprise before addressing the group. Hi, girls. How are you doing, dearie? Rarity greeted. Oh, just fine, Fluttershy said with a small smile. So, where are the days when they're out to? Applejack said as he scanned the courtyard. I don't see had no hair of her out here. Oh. Fluttershy was caught off guard before replying. I'm afraid Rainbow will be here today. The unexpected reply actually caused the girls to pause for a second, look towards Sunset, merely shrugged. Shaking her head of any suspicious thoughts, Applejack turned back to Fluttershy. Why not? See, doesn't usually play hooky. Fluttershy seemed to ponder the question for a fraction of a moment before saying, She, had sort of an accident. An accident? Rarity gasped with shock. Oh my, what happened? Fluttershy averted her gaze from the group. She wouldn't tell me. Just then, the school bell rang. Oh, that's the bell, Fluttershy said almost too enthusiastically. Gotta get to class. With that, she was off like a shot, leaving the rest of the group bewildered. Does it feel weird to anybody else besides me? Pinkie Pie asked the group. Nah, just see up, Planky, Applejack said, befuddled. There was something clear as he wasn't telling us, and I don't need my skill of bluff to call in to say it. Oh my, Rarity gasped. You don't suppose Sunset's right, do you? Cause that would mean... Rarity, calm down, Twilight cried. I admit, it appears that something's funny going on with Fluttershy, but we can't assume that she's a murderer. Considering you all have known longer than I have, I'm surprised you're so quick to judge. Applejack sighed. You're right, Twilight. When Fluttershy is hiding, I'll doubt it's anything malicious. Rainbow probably just sprained her leg from the practice and didn't want Fluttershy to tell us. For now, let's just get to class and we'll figure out what's up with Flutters later. The others nodded in agreement while Sunset just sighed. Alright, but I just hope you're right. The lesson in class that day was a slow one, and Applejack soon found her attention drifting away from the teacher as she lazily looked around the room, thinking about earlier that morning. She knew that Sunset had to be mistaken. Fluttershy would never harm anybody, least of all her friends. Whatever she wasn't willing to tell them, they figured it out eventually. Absentmindedly, Applejack managed to look out the window, and she caught a peculiar sight. For outside, a good 10 feet away from the window near the school's track and field, was Fluttershy, her back turned and a shovel in her hands, digging around a large hole. That caused Applejack to stop and wonder, why in the world was Fluttershy digging a hole outside instead of being in class? She wasn't digging... Nah, that was impossible, wasn't it? She was so deep in wondering, she didn't notice the teacher had been calling her until the 10th time. Whistling happily, Pinkie Pie skipped through the halls. I hope whatever accident Rainbow suffered wasn't too serious, she said to no one in particular. Hopefully she'll be back by the end of the story. At that moment, however, someone was coming down the hallway at the corner. Between not knowing they were coming and having her attention focused on whatever went on in her mind, Pinkie Pie unexpectedly bumped into the coming student, sending them both tumbling to the ground in a shower of books, papers, and pencils. Wow, Pinkie said as her eyes spun. That was a doozy of a headbutt. Looking up, she saw who it was she smashed into. Oh, sorry about that, Fluttershy. You okay? Once she shook her head to recover from her collision days. Oh, I'm fine, Pinkie. She didn't look at her scared surprise around the two. But my things are everywhere. No problem, Flutters, Pinkie Pie said with a grin. She started picking up books and papers. I'll help you. Oh, that's really nice of you, Pinkie. Fluttershy said gratefully as he held open her bag for Pinkie to drop her stuff in. Here, Pinkie said a moment later as he took the file out. That looks like all of it. Thank you very much, Pinkie, Fluttershy said. No problem at all, Pinkie Pie replied. Especially since... Hey, what's that? Reaching down, she picked up what made a bit of rainbow-colored hair. Oh! Fluttershy cried as he snatched the hair from Pinkie Pie and stuffed it into her pocket. Just a leftover from a wig I made earlier this week. Here you go, Pinkie Pie. Before Pinkie Pie could even blink, Fluttershy was good. Wow, Pinkie said in amazement. She's almost good at dancing, but why did she make a rainbow-colored wing? Once time rolled around, and Rarity was soon sitting at the table, seeing her friends usually occupied. Oh, I do hope that the others will be arriving shortly, the fashionista said out loud as he waved for the group. They spotted Fluttershy passing by. Oh, Fluttershy, dear. Oh, hi, Rarity, the pink-haired girl replied without stopping. Fluttershy, where are you going? Rarity asked as he stood up in front of the girl. I'll go and stay for lunch. Our friends will be here soon. Oh, thanks, Rarity, Fluttershy says as healing. But I'm not feeling very hungry at the moment. Besides, I have something to do. Rarity thought the behavior was odd, but she wasn't about to force Fluttershy to stay if she didn't want to. All right, if you're so dearie. I'm really sorry, but I'll join you girls next time, I promise. Fluttershy said gratefully. Well then, I guess I'll see you later, dear. Rarity bid goodbye with a curtsy. As her head dipped, she happened to catch sight of the bag on Fluttershy's arm. More precisely, the contents of it. What appeared to be a familiar blue jersey covered in stains. Fluttershy? She started but was interrupted. Oh, sorry, Rarity, Fluttershy said as he quickly went by. But I gotta go now. Bye! Rarity stood focused on where Fluttershy disappeared in sight. Well, lots of really rainbows. Fluttershy snapped back. Rarity stepped back when the others arrived at the table and quickly joined them. But even while having casual conversations, she still kept shooting glances at where Fluttershy ran off. It was moving towards afternoon when Twilight walked through the empty halls into her locker. I can't believe I actually forgot my abacus. She shook her head in dismay. I'm usually more organized than that. Ah, an abacus reference. I haven't seen that in a while since we finished progress. That's not the only thing you've forgotten, came the disgruntled voice from inside her backpack. You didn't share any of your lunch with me. Spike, keep it down, Twilight said in a hushed whisper. Even some of the people here know about you. There's still a no pets policy. That's why I didn't chance letting you out to give you some. Well, it's still a waste, Spike huffed as Twilight reached her locker. Do you know how much high school food goes uneaten? Enough to feed starving animals throughout the city! Look, we can talk about this later, when we're not in danger of being caught. Twilight asked the dog as she opened her locker and grabbed her abacus. I gotta get back to class before. What was that? What was what, Twilight? Spike asked as he chanced to poke his head out of the bag. I thought I heard a door squeak open, Twilight whispered. Just then, a small, grunting sound was coming down the hall. Someone's coming, Twilight cried in a whisper. We need to hide. Ducking behind a column, Twilight glanced back, Spike poking his head out from behind her. At that moment, the grunting noise stopped. Then, from out of the adjacent hallway, Fluttershy poked her head out and looked around, as if checking to see if she was alone. Before she caught sight of them, Twilight and Spike ducked behind their hiding spot, believing she was the only one in the halls. Fluttershy ducked back down the way she came. What's Fluttershy doing? Spike asked. I don't know, Twilight replied in genuine confusion, before the grunting she had heard earlier resumed. Shh! Listen! Peeking out from behind the corner, the duo saw Fluttershy dragging a large, bulging white trash bag behind her, grunting and groaning the whole way. Puzzled and confused, Twilight and Spike watched her from the hiding place, till Fluttershy disappeared with her bag down the corner, finally coming out in the open. What do you suppose Fluttershy was doing with that bag? Spike asked. The question is, what was in that bag? Twilight said with wide eyes. Eventually, the final bell rang, and the students were glad to be getting out. Standing out in the hall, Sunset waited for her friends to show up so they could do something together. Her earlier worries for that morning had vanished. Her friends were right. She probably misheard what happened the previous night. She could get the full story after Rainbow Dash came back. Just then, Sunset caught sight of Fluttershy heading to her locker. She was about to call out to her when she saw Fluttershy looking around as if to make sure nobody was watching her. Seeing that the coast was apparently clear, she dialed in her locker combination. Curious, Sunset watched as Fluttershy opened her locker and reached in to grab something. Sunset's eyes widened and her heart leapt into her throat when she saw Fluttershy pull out a long, bloody-looking pipe. Holding it in her grasp, she watched as Fluttershy stowed the pipe into her bag discreetly. Immediately, Sunset ducked behind the corner to keep from being seen. Memories from last night flashing through her. Fluttershy, what are you doing with that? Rainbow Dash's voice cried. Put that down. Keep away from me with that. No, no, no! That's it, Sunset thought to herself nervously. That's what Fluttershy used to. Sunset? Ah! Sunset cried upon hearing her name. Grasping for breath, she turned to her dresser, coming face to face with Fluttershy. Sorry if I scared you, the pink-haired girl said, but I wanted to tell you I'm going to be busy at the shelter tonight, so I can't hang out with you girls. Sunset silently gulped before speaking. Her fear mastered her grin. That's okay, Fluttershy. I'll let you know that you can't. I'll let the others know you can't make it. Thanks, Sunset, Fluttershy said with a smile. I have to go now. Bye. And she was gone. Sunset kept her forced grin on her face until Fluttershy was out of sight, before it morphed into a look of pure, unrestrained terror. Sunset? She felt a prod on his shoulder. Yeah! She cried in again, before turning to see Twilight, along with Spike, Rarity, Applejack, and Pinkie Pie, all of whom looked at a look of despondence. I think we need to talk about something. Okay, Applejack said after the group reconvened at Sugar Cube Corner. I'll admit that all those strange sights we saw are mad suspicious. But this doesn't mean what we're all thinking it means, right? What are we all thinking? Pinkie Pie inquired. That Fluttershy done away with Rainbow Days? Applejack replied. Oh, really? Pinkie Pie asked. Because that's all I was thinking. I was wondering why she made a rainbow wig. Reggie shook her head. Pinkie, that wasn't a piece of wig you found. That was Rainbow Dash's hair. Oh, Pinkie Pie said understanding, before realization hit her. What did I murdered Rainbow Dash? Now, let's not assume that just yet. Sunset says he was pacing around the floor. First, we need actual confirmation that Fluttershy did it. On how we're going to gate it? Applejack asked. The case is true. We can't just walk up to Flutters and ask her. Yeah, she might lie, Pinkie Pie added. Or bury us alongside Rainbow. But we do need to learn something to do the truth, Rarity said. I'll never be able to relax until I find out. There's only one way, Sunset said with determination. Fluttershy told me she's going to be at the shelter today. Wait a minute, Applejack said suspiciously. You're not suggesting we break into Fluttershy's house, are you? You got a better idea? Sunset asked. It's the only way to prove whether or not Fluttershy did it. But suppose Fluttershy comes home while we're still inside, Twilight asked. Well, if she's not a murderer, then we'll be understanding of the situation, Pinkie Pie answered. And if she is? Then we're dead, Pinkie Pie replied, her grin never leaving her face while the others groaned. The group of 6 arrived at Fluttershy's house. Even with there still being daylight, it felt downright eerie. Hard to believe I'm actually nervous about entering Fluttershy's abode, Rarity said uneasily. It seems like we've been here hundreds of times, and this is the first that feels like a foreboding place. No kidding, Applejack agreed. Let's just hope we find the proof we're wrong about all this. Walking out the porch, Sunset grabbed the doorknob and tried to turn it, only to find it wouldn't budge. The door's locked. Terrific. Maybe we could get in through a window. Applejack surveyed the outside of the house. I don't know, Twilight says he scanned the walls. Looks like the only window open is at the top right side of the house. How are we supposed to reach that? Sunset pondered. Maybe we can form our human ladder, Applejack suggested. What? Reggie cried in shock. I'm not about to have somebody stand on my shoulders, even if it is one of you. You got a better idea? Applejack asked. Sure, Pinkie Pie called out. We can get started. Sure enough, the party girl was standing beside the front door that was wide open. Pinkie, how did you do that? Sunset asked in shock. Easy, Pinkie replied as she held up the object she used to open the door. I've got a shelter key. Okay, Applejack said uneasily. Well, that gives disturbing applications, but we'll set that aside for now and focus on the disturbing thing we're already dealing with. Agreed, Sunset nodded. She walked up to the door. Come on, girls. Creeping into the house, the group looked around the foyer. Rarity thought she looked over the house's interior. Looks as pleasant as it usually does. Doesn't feel like the home of someone who just committed a murder. Oh, come on, Rarity. Pinkie Pie shook her head. Despite what's shown on television, murderers still furnish their homes with weapons and scary-looking things. This is too much of a giveaway. Well, let's hurry and find something to get out of here before Fluttershy gets back, Sunset said as she stared down around the living room for anything suspicious. Easier said than done, dearie, Rarity replied as he carefully opened a small jewelry box on the table. Finding something that looks suspicious would be... Ah! Rarity was cut off when the lid of the jewelry box fell from her fingers. Are you all right, Rarity? Twilight asked as Rarity wrenched her hand out of the box. No! Meredith shrieked as he held up her hand. I just broke 5 minutes! Applejack gave her a flat look. You're kidding. You're flipping out over riots? Oh, you don't understand, Meredith. Applejack, Meredith cried over dramatically. I just got in the manicure over the weekend. Applejack was still unimpressed. Look, let's just leave Fluttershy's highlighting a go, okay? No more getting worked up over nothing. Before Verity could retaliate, there was a clatter coming from the kitchen, causing the girls to jump in shock. Turning, they saw a certain puppy come out the door, what appeared to be a mouthful of kibble and doggy treats. Kitchen is clean, Spike said as he swallowed his pearl-lined chow, while Twice shook her head in astonishment over her dog's appetite. Does the furniture, Pinky said as he popped out from behind the couch curtains and must have shocked at the others. Didn't find a single thing that says Fluttershy is bad. Sunset said as he turned her attention away from Pinkie Pie's antics. Applejack, anything in the closet? Nothing so far, the cowgirl said as he rummaged through the living room closet. Fluttershy has a strange habit of hunting cowbird cocoons, but nothing suspicious. What's this? What's what? Sunset asked. In response, Applejack pulled out some peculiar items. A hockey stick, a baseball mitt, and a soccer ball? The farmer asked in surprise as he held each item in turn. That's strange, Verity said while fighting over her hands worth of broken nails. Fluttershy is not the athletic type, so what could she be doing with sports equipment? Pinkie Pie gasped. Maybe Fluttershy did away with Rainbow Dash so she could take her place on the school sports teams. I don't know, Sunset said with her hand to her chin and thought. I think we need to keep looking for more clues. But we searched the whole house, Spike said entirely. Not entirely, Sunset said. She walked towards the stairs. We still haven't checked the upstairs yet. Follow me. Carefully, the group began to ascend the staircase. It was more nerve-wracking thanks to a creepy squeak that came with every step. Pinky, do you have to make that noise? Twilight argued, asked the party girl in noise. What? Pinkie Pie asked as he bent a piece of rubber and leather. I thought it would help set the mood. Well, would you please stop? Sunset admonished the party girl from the front. That sound is so distracting. We not may be looking where we're going and walk into some. Ah! Sunset had been so focused on licorice Pinkie Pie, she didn't know the banister's large baluster on top of the steps, and ended up walking face first into it. Like that? Pinkie Pie asked in curiosity. Pretty much, Sunset groaned before turning back to the group. How does it look? Yes, cringed. Sunset was now sporting a huge, blistering, disgusting black eye on the left side of her face. The bruise was so great that Sunset's left eye was squinting. Verity struggled to find the right words. You might want to put some makeup on that later, dearie. Sunset shook her head in frustration. I'll do that later. Right now, we have a search to finish. The six were now on the second floor of the house. Looking around, they saw a long hallway stretched out in both directions. Acres of doors as far as the eye could see, even Sunset's black eye. We'll have to search these rooms one by one, Sunset surmised. I'll take him here, Pinky said as he opened one door and stepped into the room. Suddenly, there was a loud clatter from behind the door, followed by the Sunset someone squealing, Oh, no, ouchie! Looking to the door of worry, the group saw Pinkie Pie emerge from the room, covered in needles. Fluttershy has a lot of used porcupine quills in here, she said nonchalantly. The others merely shook their heads before continuing their search. Walking up to a door at the far end, Verity opened it to get a good look before closing it. The bathroom, though it doesn't look like anything is weird with it, she replied. Applejack then opened the door in front of her. This is the guest room, she said with her head into the door frame, before pulling back and closing the door. Doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary. Twilight then opened the door in the front right. Nothing in here but some boxes of broken watch stingers. Nothing so far weird, Sunset pondered as he led the group down the hall. And we're running out of places to search. If we don't find anything up here, do you think we should go back out back and check Fluttershy's dead? Pinkie Pie asked as the group crept through the hallway, while she casually plucked the quills out of her skin. I don't think we'll know to go to that extent, Pinky, Sunset replied as he grabbed the knob on another door. Let's just finish searching up here. If nothing is found, we'll just drop this whole thing and leave. With that, she opened the door, and she and the others got an eyeful of a sight that shocked them to the core. For there before them was a room with an interior of pure red and black. Strands of ceremonial candles were persistent in a circle around the room. Spears were hung on the room's perimeter, and chains dangled from the wall. In one corner was a cage, next to what appeared to be a rack. The whole place looked like a dungeon. Why does Fluttershy have a torture chamber? Pinkie Pie asked nervously. I've got a few guesses, but I don't want to say them. Twilight replied with slack jaw. Hesitantly, the girls slowly walked into the room, their eyes panning over every inch of the startling discovery. I can't believe that Fluttershy actually has a room like this. Rarity gasped in shock before calmly adding, though I must say the combination of red and black is quite tasteful. Now's not the time for style approval, Rarity! Applejack cried in annoyance. How is it we never knew about this place before? Sunset commented with wide eyes, causing her bruise to wince. All the times Fluttershy had us over, and we were completely unawares he had a place like this. If I remember correctly, didn't Fluttershy always have an upstairs door locked whenever she invited us over? Applejack inquired. That's right, Sunset said in realization. It must have been this room. She's been hiding this from us the whole time. She began to back up in disbelief. I can't believe that Fluttershy could. Sunset, look out! Twilight called out. It was too late. Sunset walked right into the stands of one of the spears, banging her head on it with a thong! Ouch! Sunset shrieked as he held her blistering head. It felt like she had the grandfather of all splitting headaches. She was in such pain that she ended up bumping into it against the wall with a bang! The resulting jar caused the spear, whose hold Sunset bumped into, tip forward. The shift in balanced weight caused it to follow the holder to swing forward at incredible speed. Like a spring-loaded catapult, the spear launched from its perch and made a bling line straight for Applejack's head. Applejack, look out! Rarity shrieked. Yikes! Applejack cried as she ducked her head, causing the spear to sail straight through her Stetson before hitting the wall opposite where it was hung. Unfortunately, the jar caused by the spear caused the spear on that wall to fall forward and launch like the last one. Once again, the spear seared straight through Applejack's head and hat and hit the wall on the other side. Unfortunately, this prolonged chain reaction caused the spears all over the room and launched through the air and sailed straight through Applejack's poor Stetson. Finally, when the last of the spears embedded itself in the wall, knocking her hat on the floor in the process, Applejack finally got off the ground and surveyed the damage to her Stetson. Dang it! The cowgirl groaned as he picked up her battered headwear. My hat looks like a piece of sweet size! Now who's flipping out over everything? Rarity asked snidely. I am so sorry about that, Applejack, Sunset said sincerely, as he tenderly rubbed her throbbing head. I didn't mean that to happen. Applejack sighed. It wasn't your fault, Sunset. I know you didn't do this on purpose. Perhaps it's not as bad as I think. She placed the holy hat on her head. How's it looking? Rarity stammered, thinking that Applejack looked absolutely ridiculous. I think it's definitely you. Oh, yeah, Sunset nodded. Totally, Twilight agreed. You be the star of a new look, Pinkie Pie said sincerely. Those were her actual thoughts, unaware the others were sugarcoating. You kidding? Spike barked in disbelief. That thing looks absolutely ridiculous. Twilight facepalmed. Spike, there are times when I wish you were still a barker! So, do you think we have enough proof that Fluttershy did a bad thing to Rainbow? Pinkie asked Sunset. Sunset reluctantly shook her head. Not yet. There's still one more place to check. But first, she walked over to one of the spears and plucked it from the wall. We'd better return this room back to the way it was before we came in here. Fluttershy will no doubt find it odd if all her spears are launched into the walls. Ooh, good point, Pinkie Pie agreed, others nodding. Carefully plucking each spear from the walls, the girls lay gently and would easily return each one to their stands. Unfortunately, they were unable to tell where each spear originated from, so they were forced to put them back in random order. I just hope that Fluttershy hasn't organized these things, Rarity said as they placed the last spear in the only remaining empty stand. If she discovers that they're out of order, she might get suspicious. Relax, Rarity, Pinkie Pie said dismissively. No one has that big of an detail for except you. Well, this is Lamb's Gray, Applejack said as he headed to the door. This place is giving me the creeps. The others agreed, and all too gladly vacated the disturbing room, hoping to forget the sights they saw there. All right, Sunset, Applejack commented as the group was back in the hallway. What's this last place we need to look in? Sunset sighed as he led the way. The place I heard Fluttershy attack Rainbow Dash. Her bedroom. Slowly approaching the desired room, the girls grew more nervous and anxious with each step. unaware of what secrets he would discover next. Raising the door, the sunset grabbed the knob before turning to the others. Now, let's prepare ourselves, she whispered to the group. We have no idea what could be behind this door. We have to be ready for anything. Gulping nervously, the girls nodded in agreement before Sunset turned back to the door. Teeth clenched. The bacon-haired girl took a deep breath like she was about to jump into a deep pool before yanking open the door. Reluctantly, the girls looked through the open door to see what resided inside, only to see an ordinary bedroom. The room was dark and obscured, however, and nothing looked out of place. It looked like the same room the six had visited so many times before when Fluttershy had them over. Sharing a confused look, the group moved through the door to make sure they weren't mistaken. Slowly stepping into the room, the girls looked around as it saw the interior. Nothing suspicious in sight. Upon confirmation of the lack of disturbing details, their nerves instantly vanished and they felt at ease.
Well, this doesn't look incriminating at all,
Piggy said in relief. Then Applejack flipped the light switch. In an instant, the group's eased looks melted away and replaced by looks of shock and horror as the light revealed what had been hidden in the dark. The front left leg of Fluttershy's bed was broken. Smashed glass was shattered everywhere. Books on the adjacent shelf had been knocked off. A table had been tipped over, its contents spilled all across the floor. The dresser had fallen forward. Most horrifying of all, the walls in the room were covered in dark, red stains.
Can I take it back?
Pinkie Pie said as uneasily. What in the... Applejack stuttered. Just like what I heard last night, Sunset said and feared.
Something terrible happened here. It looks like it was a very nasty fight,
Sunset's Twilight said as he examined the room.
The walls look like they're coated in blood. How could this get any creepier?
Rarity shivered.
How about this?
Spike popped up. For there, at the dog's feet, among the fragments of broken glass in the bed, was a familiar-looking rainbow-colored guitar pick. Piggy squeaked in horror.
This rainbow's like a guitar pick. It never goes anywhere without it.
Well, it's all true, Applejack said, shocked. So did it. First, I actually went in. She couldn't finish the sentence.
Oh, I can't just believe Fluttershy would actually do this,
Rarity moaned.
I thought I understood her perfectly,
Twilight said in astonishment.
She was always still gentle with me,
Spike said monotonously.
Poor Nessie,
Piggy said slowly, before blowing her nose on a tissue, sounding a lot like a noisemaker. Sunset, meanwhile, stood in shock. Overwhelmed with this, he just received confirmation what she had just feared and it didn't happen. Needing an answer for why it happened, she quickly scanned the room for anything that could explain it. Looking at the dainty desk that sat opposite of the bed, Sunset spotted a small black book labeled My Secrets on it. Obvious to what it was, when she walked over to the desk and picked it up.
Sunset, what are you doing?
Rarity cried in shock.
That's Fluttershy's private diary. We can't read that. It'd be an intimate invasion of her privacy. That's okay. We're invading her privacy already,
Pinkie Pie said dismissively.
Besides, she pretty much lost her rights when she watched Rainbow.
Besides, it might be the only way to explain why Fluttershy did this, Sunset commented.
Sunset does have a point,
Twilight agreed with Lear. I hate to say it, but it needs to be done, Rarity, Applejack said reluctantly. Rarity sighed.
Oh, very well. Just know that for the record, I find this whole thing appalling.
Opening the book, Sunset began flipping through the pages to find the latest entry. When she felt the sting of paper slice into her skin.
Ow!
She cried as she dropped the diary and shook her hands vigorously.
I got a paper cut in both my palms. Boy, you're a magnet for physical injury today, aren't you, Sunset?
Pinkie Pie commented. Ignoring the party girl, Sunset picked up the diary and resumed searching until she reached the latest entry. Upon looking at it, Sunset's eyes instantly darker. Well, darker than her bruised eyes case. Her blood ran cold as she experienced a feeling of dread.
Oh no,
she whispered. What's the matter, son? Listen to this, Sunset said monotonously before reading the page. My waiting and patience are finally paying off. She gathered looks of confusion from the group. Having spent 5 years integrating myself amongst these musicians and securing my cover, I can finally begin the next phase of my plan. The girls gulped in distress, not liking the sound of it. Tonight, my spree will begin anew, starting with the one I've gotten closest to. I suppose I feel an ounce of regret over it, considering all we've been through. But to tell the truth, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. My real concern is that once I get her,
Who should be next? The entry finished. Sunset slowly closed the book before looking back at the others with one eye regular and one wide black eye. How, how horrifying! Rarity gasped. I can't believe it, Applejack said in disbelief. All these years, Fluttershy's been using us? Everything we've been through together doesn't mean nothing to her?
She didn't even care about what she did to Daisy.
Pinkie Pie gaped. Sunset, meanwhile, was in deep thought as he placed the diary back on her desk. Last night, I heard Fluttershy tell Rainbow Dash she's not the girl we think she is. There's more to her than we could ever know, she said to the others. What if it's true? What if we don't really know anything about Fluttershy? Everything we found here seems to indicate that. What if the person we think is our friend really isn't? It can't be possible, can it? Rarity said in disbelief. Everything we think and know about Fluttershy is all a lie. All the times we spent together. I love of animals, shy demeanor, all of it's just a cover story. Sunset shrugged. For all we know, Fluttershy might not even be her real name. Well, that's the case. Then who have we been hanging out for all these years? Applejack asked in bewilderment.
Apparently, somebody with a very creepy Halloween costume,
Pinkie Pie commented as he pointed. Looking into the direction Pinkie was pointing, the girls saw something that took their breath away. A hideous, disturbing, black and white skull mask. Rarity felt her heart in her throat.
It's not
the kind of mask a psychotic serial killer wears. Applejack finished. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I think that's enough for me, Spike said as he slowly backed away from the door. Let me know when we're ready to leave. Okay, Twilight? Silence. Twilight? Twilight had said nothing. In fact, she hadn't said anything since the whole discussion. Must have surprised the Sunset and the others. Taking notice of her for the first time since reading the diary, they saw her standing frozen with a sexy at Fluttershy's desk, eyes wide here and a look of absolute terror on her face. What is it, Twilight? Sunset asked as she and the others gathered around the bookworm. Twilight said nothing, instead pointing what she was staring at. Looking down at the desk, the rest of the group became terrified as Twilight. It was a picture of the 7 friends, with Fluttershy at the end, followed by Rainbow Dash, then Rarity, then Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Twilight holding Spike, then finally Sunset. What was disturbing, however, was that Rainbow Dash had been crossed through, and everybody else except Fluttershy had been circled. Even worse, they circled 5 each had an arrow dropped above them, each one leading to the top of the picture, conversing around a big, black question mark. The group was silent for a fraction before Sunset meet a single sentence.
We're next.
In a flash, the group dashed to the door as fast as they could, yelling at the top of their lungs,
She's going to kill us!
Pinkie Pie screeched as the girls raced through the halls and out of the house. We have to get out of here before Fluttershy gets home, Sunset cried as they ran for the steps to reach the front door. At that moment, they all froze in horror as they heard an unmistakable sound, the sound of a car pulling into the driveway.
Oh no! Oh, it's too late!
Rarity gasped.
Fluttershy's back! Heck! What are we going to do?
Pinkie Pie yelled.
If she finds us, we're dead meat!
We have to figure out a way to get out of here without her seeing us, Twilight declared. But how? We're trapped! Spike said from the book from his hands. What other way is there? I know! Sunset cried. The open window we saw from outside. We can get out there! Come on! With that, the group turned down the corridor on the right.
Oh, I'm too young to have my beautiful face mutilated by a timid psycho!
Rarity whined as the group ran for their lives. Just keep running! Sunset cried from the door. Quick! Down this hall!
Where?
Pinkie Pie cried as he brought up the rear. The group made a sharp turn at the left. Unbeknownst to her, the turn was so sharp that when she turned on her heel, the shoe on her outstretched leg flew off. Unaware that one of her feet was bare, Pinkie Pie followed the others. We're almost there, Sunset crawled out. The window should be here! Unfortunately, the group was going so fast, they didn't see a loose board in the middle of the hall. As a result, Twilight ended up bumping into it, tripping, causing Spike and her glasses to go flying.
Oh!
The fallen girl couldn't see.
Hang on, Twilight!
Applejack cried as he ran back her up.
Thanks, Applejack.
The newest member said as he handed her glasses, before checking the dog.
Are you alright, Spike?
Yeah, but that was a rough trip, Spike replied. It was then he heard a car door slam, as someone walking across the gravel to the house. Come on, girl, Applejack cried as he helped Twilight up. We gotta move! I think I cracked my glasses, Twilight cried as he found herself looking through her fragmented vision while following Applejack. Worry about that later, Sunset called as they reached the end of the hall. Here's the window! At that moment, they heard someone coming up into the steps on the porch outside. Time for us to leave, Sunset cried, before leaping out the window. This won't do good for my head. Um, Reddy said as he looked out the window and see how high they were up from the ground. On the visa, I'm up. We don't have time to argue! Applejack yelled before shoving the screaming fashionista out the window, following suit, both of them landing in the bushes underneath the window. Well, I guess it's our turn, Twilight said as he picked up her dog and climbed out the window. There are times when cats were the only ones who could land on their feet, Spike cried as the duo jumped in at the same time someone was placing a key on the front door.
Wait for me!
Pinkie Pie said as he raced to the window and hopped out, hanging in midair for a few seconds before falling.
Wing!
Just as Fluttershy was entering her house, the group was getting to their feet after the jump.
That was fun.
Pinkie Pie cried excitedly. You got an odd definition of fun, Pinkie, Twilight moaned. I think I just lost my stomach in that jump, Spike said woozily.
Applejack, you just tore my skirt,
Rarity shrieked, before as he inspected her clothes. If it makes you feel any better, Applejack groaned as she got up and rubbed her backside. I just landed in some brambles. Come on, Sunset cried, black eye even worse, and head throbbing more than ever. We gotta get away before Fluttershy sees us! And with that, the Remu started off through the yards to get as far away as they could. Fortunately, thanks to her cracked glasses, Twilight couldn't see very well and ended up stumbling again.
Ah!
She cried as she fell sharp pain to her knee. Are you all right, Twilight? Sunset asked worriedly.
No, I think I twisted my ankle.
The girl groaned as she tenderly rubbed her left knee.
Pinkie, help me!
Sunset directed the party girls, and two held Twilight to her feet. Now, come on! With Twilight leaning on Sunset and Pinkie for support, the group raced for Fluttershy's house as fast as they could. Fluttershy was completely unaware of their presence and had no idea her house had been invaded.
Okay.
Pinkie Pie says she and Spike looked out Sunset's window.
I don't think she saw us, so we should be safe.
Turning away from the window, Pinkie Pie looked to her friends. Sunset was sitting on the couch, gingerly rubbing her ankle. Besides her was Rarity, who was moaning over her nails and skirt. Applejack, meanwhile, was trying to ease her sore rump into a chair. Pinkie Pie was covered in large bandaged X's. As for Sunset, after triple bolting her front door, was currently bandaging her head.
Oh.
The bacon-colored girl groaned after she finished applying her wrap.
That
was a rough experience. At least we learned the truth, Twilight said with a sigh, trying to ignore the pain in her knee.
Indeed,
Rarity said with disappointment.
I can't believe that Fluttershy has been deceiving us all this time.
Yeah, Applejack agreed as she winced from the tons of the cushion beneath her. To think that this whole time she was really a psychotic killer using us as a cover. Not to mention she knocked off Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, she's even worse than Sunset during her villain phase.
Pinkie Pie commented before turning to the reformed bully.
No offense.
None taken, Sunset replied with a shake of her bandaged head, which caused her to momentarily wince. Even I didn't go the lengths Fluttershy has taken. And she managed to do all this without magic, Spike commented. The comment from the talking dog caused Sunset to pause, and eyes widening in fear. Even her black eye. Coincidentally, at the same time, there was a crackle of thunder as the tremendous storm began. Oh no. What's wrong, Sunlight? Applejack asked. Think about it, Sunset said fearfully. If Fluttershy could do this all without magic, what do you think she'll be capable of if she starts using it? Especially if it keeps growing. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window. The thunder cracked as the group realized the implications of Sunset's words. She'll be even worse than Midnight Sparkle, Twilight said with realization.
What are we going to do?
Pinkie Pie asked in fright. For starters, I'm going to call the police and have them go to Fluttershy's house and arrest her, Sunset said as he went to the phone.
Why not contact Princess Twilight?
Fluttershy hasn't done anything evil with magic, so this is relegated to the authorities here, Sunset explained as he picked up the phone and started to dial. Once Fluttershy is in custody, however, I'll have to contact the princess so we can come up with a way to remove Fluttershy's magic. Besides, I'll need her to tell her the truth about Fluttershy, not to mention what happened to Rainbow Dash. She'll be heartbroken, of course, but she deserves to know. Yeah, well, I'm just glad it's all over now, Applejack said as he easily sat down to relax. At that moment, another flash of lightning appeared in the window, before all lights in the house went out.
Applejack, Does he know you're not supposed to give Fate a challenge like that?
Piggy said scoldingly. Terrific. The phone's dead, Sunset muttered as he couldn't get a dial tone.
What about your cell phone, Daddy?
Rarity asked. Sunset pulled out her phone out of her pocket. Darn it, no service. The others pulled out their phones to check them as well. No signal on mine, Applejack sighed.
Same with mine,
Rarity commented. Likewise, Twilight said.
Mine's being temperamental,
Piggy grumbled. Great, Sunset groaned. Looks like we'll have to wait to call the police.
While you're waiting, maybe you can contact Princess Twilight now,
Piggy Pie suggested. Sunset shook her head. I can't tell where my journal is in the dark, and even if I found it, I need light in order to write a message. Then we'll just have to wait until the power comes back before we can do anything. Twilight shrugged. Hopefully we won't be waiting too long. Girls, Spike said as he looked out the window. I think there's somebody in front of the house. What? Sunset asked. Who in the world would be out here in this weather? Someone with a skirt, a tank top, tennis sneakers, long fluttering hair, looks like to be something sharp in their hand, Spike cried as he backed away in fright.
You don't suppose?
Rarity asked but trailed off. Nah, Applejack shook her head. Spike's probably just seeing things out there. At that moment, there was another flash of lightning, illuminating a familiar figure that was at the end of the driveway. Its long hair fluttering madly, and a strange implement clutched in their right hand. Oh, hey, again! Applejack meant as he slowly pulled down the shade over the window. Suddenly, there was a loud knock at Sunset's door.
Ah!
Rarity cried.
It's Fluttershy! She found us! She knows we're onto her, and she's come to silence us! But how does she even know we were at her house?
Twilight cried.
Oops!
Piggy says he finally took notice of her feet.
Lost one of my shoes!
Play guy! Applejack shouted. The banging on the door repeated. Much harder and louder the second time.
Barricade the door!
Sunset shrieked. In a flash, the girls started piling everything that wasn't nailed down in front of the door. The couch, the chairs, the tables, the lamps, the desk, the shelves, and the dressers. Let's do it, Applejack said as he caught her breath. We used everything but the... In a flash, a piece of porcelain and plumbing landed on top of the pile.
Don't want to take any chances,
Piggy said simply. Sunset was wondering if her kitchen was about to be flooded. The knocking on the door grew sharper, and something began to shut the door, blessing the blockade away with each push. They won't come out and keep her out for much longer, Sunset shouted.
Quick!
Pinkie Pie cried.
Out the back door!
But I don't have a back door, Sunset retorted.
You will in a minute,
Pinkie cried as he prepared to run through the wall. Let's try something easier. Applejack stopped her. Quick, out the window!
Again?
Rarity groaned. You'd rather stay here with Fluttershy, Applejack quipped. The banging on the door intensified.
Fair point!
Rarity could see it before the group dashed back to the house.
Hurry, Sonny!
Pinkie cried as Sunset fumbled with the window. I'm trying, the lead rainbow retorted before managing to unlock and raise the window. There, everybody out! In a flash, Pinkie, Twilight, Spike, and Applejack leaped out the window. Unfortunately, both Rarity and Sunset were in such a hurry to get out. They ended up getting through at the same time and getting stuck.
Ooh, I knew I should have cut down sweets last week,
Rarity moaned as she and Sunset tried to pry themselves free. How about going back in and then coming out with one at a time? Applejack asked.
We can't!
Sunset cried, unable to budge an inch. We're what's in here, but good! Hurry, pull them out before Fluttershy decides to come back! Twilight cried to the others. Quickly, Twilight grabbed Sunset's hands, while Applejack and Pinkie Pie grabbed Rarity's. Pulling with all their might, the trio began to tug to two, snuck back rainbows out the window little by little. Keep going! Applejack moaned. I can feel it coming. Almost there. Just a little more. We got about it! In a flash, Rarity and Sunset were getting free from the window and crossed into the air while in a heap on the ground.
Thanks for the help, Gus,
Rarity said. She and Sunset looked up to address the others, only to see them looking shocked.
What? Don't tell me the Fluttershy is standing right behind us.
No. Applejack shook her head. Well, tell me, did you hear a ribbon sound as we were pulling you out there?
Yes,
Sunset nodded. I just thought it might be my jacket. Not that it's a big deal. I can get it fixed later.
I'm afraid it's a little more than your jacket,
Twilight said nervously.
What do you mean?
Rarity asked. Well, fill your heads, Spike instructed. The duo did. and shocked when they felt the lack of something that wasn't there anymore.
No, no, no!
Rarity shrieked at the top of her lungs.
Some of my beautiful hair got ripped out. Still lived in mine.
Sunset gasped as she realized a chunk of her own hair was missing.
Well, on the bright side, you two might start a new hairstyle at school tomorrow,
Pinky said, optimistically, while Rarity moaned about not being able to look in the mirror for the next few weeks. I don't know, Rarity. You could always try the punk look. That looked wonderful for you in pony mode.
That is, if we see tomorrow.
Well, never mind that now, Sunset said as she got up. Come on!
Where are we going?
Rarity asked. To the police station, Sunset asked. We'll have to notify them directly. Let's go before Fluttershy realizes we're not inside anymore. With Twilight being supported by Sunset, the group ran through the yards as the rain beat down on them. The lightning flashed and thunder crashed. It's because there was not much rain. The ground became searing muddy. The girls splashing through puddles with every step.
I didn't know how much water it's like a bear.
Rarity whined. Just keep going, Sunset instructed. The police station isn't much further. Wait! Upside cried as he scared to a stop, sending mud flying. The police won't believe us without evidence. By the time we get to Fluttershy's house, she might got wind of everything.
Then what do we do?
Rarity asked with a shriek over her thunder. Fluttershy's back there, Upside explained as he directed her behind her. Let's get back to her house, grab her diary, and take it back to the police before she finds out no pony's home. Good plan, Sunset agreed, before leaning away while hoisting Twilight. Come on! With their next destination, the group double-timed it at their pace. The rain, lightning, and thunder intensifying as the crowd became even muddier. Keep going, Sunset instructed as Fluttershy's house came into view. We're almost there!
Oh, I think I'm going to be sick.
Rarity cried as she saw how much mud had splashed on her clothes. Unfortunately, in her worry, she lost her footing. With her sword, she fell forward and grabbed onto an applejack. Due to how slippery the grass had become, the lack of friction sent her flying across the grass. Look out! Applejack cried out to Twilight and Sunset, who were head out of the control pair. Looking fork, Sunset and Twilight immediately began going faster to keep away from the runaway heap. Unfortunately, Applejack and Rarity's momentum soon overtook them and crashed right into them. Carrying Sunset and Twilight spike forward, the heap propelled right toward Fluttershy's house, and even more so, a mud puddle right beside it. Unable to stop themselves, the group braced for impact with the puddle, but they were just a few feet away from it. The momentum started slowing down, and skidded to a stop just a few inches away from the puddle. Phew! Sunset sighed with relief. That was close. Whee! Came a voice from behind the group. Eyes wide, they turned to see Pinkie Pie skidding through the grass, of her own free will, right towards them. Pinkie, no! It was too late. In an instant, Pinkie Pie crashed into the others, sending them all into the mud puddle with a splash, covering them all completely in mud from head to toe.
Oh,
Pinkie Pie said excitedly, as the group squirmed in the puddle.
I saw you guys doing that, and I thought, that was like fun. I want to do that. And I was right. Can we do it again?
Ugh. Let's salt and say we did, Pinkie, Rarity said as he discussed as he climbed out of the mud hole. Ugh. You humans just don't like getting dirty, Spike said, quite happy with the current situation. Well, never mind, Sunset said as he took charge of the situation and got up. We're here. Let's get in, grab the diary, and get out before Fluttershy gets back. In a flash, the mud-covered group was on the porch, fumbling with the door. Hurry up with that skeleton clay, Pinkie! Applejack cried. Fluttershy might show up at any minute.
Well, sorry, but my hands are a bit slippery,
Pinkie Pie replied.
Well,
Some ponies should have followed that before knocking us all into a mud puddle! Rarity retorted with a shriek.
hang on,
Pinkie said under her breath, tongue stuck out, though she tasted the mud on her face. Yuck!
mud is not yummy. Got it!
Sure enough, the door was wide open. Until the muddy group filed inside, shut down before anyone saw them. They took stock of their surroundings.
This place seems a bit more disturbing in the dark,
Rarity commented as a flash of lightning illuminated the living room. Walking over to the switch by the door, Applejack attempted to flick on the lights, but the group remained in the dark.
The storm must have taken out the power here as well,
Sunset surmised. We'll have to find the diary in the dark. The group was trudging to the stairs when they heard a noise outside.
What was that?
Twilight cried in a panic.
Oh, nothing much,
Pinkie said cheerfully as she looked out the window from her vantage point.
There's a car pulling into the driveway.
A car pulling into the driveway! The other screamed. It's Fluttershy! Sunset said in a panic. She's back! If she finds us in here, we're toast! Spike whined. I had to find a place to hide, the opposite declared.
But where?
Rarity cried in terror. Quick! Sunset cried as he pointed to the basement door. We'll hide down there. In a huddle, the mud-covered group dashed towards the door, but the slippery mud in the door frame, one of them tripped, causing the entire group to tumble over heels. Like a ball, the group rolled down the steps, banging their heads the whole way, grunting and groaning in pain. When he reached the bottom, rather than stop, the slickness of the mud propelled him full speed into the wall. Screaming for panic, or in Pinkie Pie's case, excitement, the group flew into a wall with a crash. The group was left in a mild haze from their collision. To make matters worse, the barrel on the shelf was above them was overtaken by the knock on the wall, causing the barrel to tip over and spill its contents on the group, covering them from head to toe in feathers. I don't let Fluttershy will have a barrel of feathers. Almost sputtered as he spat out the feathers. Pih!
Quiet!
Says it already in a harsh whisper.
I think I hear someone.
Getting to their feet, the feathered group held their feet and listened with anxiety and panic as the front door opened.
Linda!
Came a gruff voice from upstairs.
Where did all this mud come from? Uh-oh,
Pinkie Pie whispered.
Fluttershy's just mad.
Don't worry, Sunset said. We'll just wait down here and be quiet until she goes upstairs. Then we sneak out of here, find the diary, and get out. Fortunately, rather than move further away, the voice was scurrying closer.
It looks like it leads right to the basement. Oh no, she's got us!
Pinkie Pie gasped.
We're dead ducks. I guess it's cooked.
Pinkie Pie, could you not use bird analogies right now, please? Applejack asked, exasperated. The basement door opened. Someone stared down the stairs. Who's down here? Oh, man, Applejack said nervously as he held on to Rarity. This is it for us. We're goers! The footsteps came louder as the person descending them grew closer.
Girls, I want to let you know I don't have any regrets meeting you,
Twilight whispered.
Well, except maybe Fluttershy.
The Simmering Spike added. The person who reached the bottom of the stairs began walking towards the huddled group.
Well, it was nice knowing you girls,
Sunset said frantically.
Indeed. We've all had a good run.
Bracing themselves for what was coming, the girls sat in eyes in fear as the basement light went on.
Ridiculous!
Pinkie cried as he threw herself on the floor and begging persisted. There was a moment's silence before a voice spoke.
Well, I'm a little irked you guys got the house dirty, but I'm not gonna kill you for it.
The girls froze in shock as their eyes shot open. That voice. It couldn't be. Turning towards the speaker, the group saw
Rainbow Dash?
Yeah, it's me, all right.
The fairy was alive and kicking, prismatic athlete said grumpily. Her arms folded down, frown in face as he looked down at the group.
Would you guys mind explaining what you're doing down here at this time of night, and why you look like a bunch of overgrown chickens?
Unable to process the sight before her, Sunset was staring before finally blurring out.
Rainbow Dash? You're alive?
Of course I'm alive,
Rainbow answered weak.
Why wouldn't I be?
Because you're supposed to be dead, silly,
Pinkie Pie explained.
Wait, what?
Rainbow asked, confused.
Yeah,
Pinkie Pie went on.
First I gave you the
She made a neck-slicing gesture while going.
I repeat, what?
Rainbow asked, in disbelief.
Where did you get a crazy idea like that?
Rainbow, is that you?
Came a familiar voice from upstairs.
I saw that the power was back.
Down here, Shy!
Rainbow called out to the girl. Following the voice, Fluttershy came downstairs.
Rainbow, why is your mud all over the floor?
She asked as she descended the steps.
We have a few surprise visitors,
Rainbow replied, while protesting towards the feather-covered group in the corner.
Girls?
Fluttershy got surprised.
What are you doing here? Now that you get covered in my barrel of feathers.
Good question, Shy.
Dash said with a frown, but pointing to the group.
Well, hell with it. What's going on here?
Now, just hold on a tick, Applejack said abruptly. Where are you doing here, Rainbow Dash? At this query, the prismatic girl paused, as if contemplating how to answer. After exchanging a nervous glance with Fluttershy, who nodded, Rainbow reluctantly sighed before turning back towards the group.
Well,
she said slowly,
it's because I live here.
Wait, are you sure?
Pinkie Pie asked in surprise.
I thought this was Fluttershy's house.
Fluttershy said slowly.
It is.
The girls stood with gawking looks before the pair before them.
I moved in a month ago,
Rainbow explained slowly.
Sorry to keep it a secret from you, but we didn't know when we should tell you.
I felt so to sleep up when the two of you apart over the past month, Applejack commented.
What?
Randy said, clarification.
That will explain the sports equipment in the closet. Sports equipment? You guys went through our stuff? Rainbow Dash asked in rage. Seriously, what got in your guys? We thought that Fluttershy was a murderous psychopath who whacked you. It was coming after us next after we learned our secret. Pinkie Pie explained rapidly.
What? Rainbow Dash exploded.
Oh my,
Fluttershy gasped shocked.
why would you girls ever think I'd do something like that to Rainbow?
Because, Sunset started a moment before blurring out, last night I was passing by this house on my way home, and I heard what sounded like you attacking Rainbow Dash. Rainbow and Fluttershy's eyes wide in shock.
Wait, really?
Rainbow asked in surprise. You heard that and thought it was real?
Well,
Fluttershy said in amazement.
guess we're better actors than we thought, Rainbow.
Wait, actors? Sunset gasped in surprise. What are you two talking about? Realizing the slip, the yellow and blue pair paused and exchanged sensitive glances. It looked like they had no choice but to tell the secret.
Well, you see,
Sunset Fluttershy said with red cheeks.
what you heard last night, Sunset, was our role-playing.
Role-playing? Sunset asked in confusion. The others equally perplexed.
Yeah.
Rainbow Dash admitted slowly.
We have a thing about acting out different scenarios when it's just us. Unfortunately, last night's game got a little out of hand. Fluttershy, what are you doing?
Rainbow Dash asked while lashed to the bed.
Now, Rainbow, don't resist.
Fluttershy had asked, dressed as a dominatrix, said with full confidence.
You've known this was coming for a long time.
Okay, Fluttershy, enough is enough,
Rainbow Dash said quite convincingly.
Joke's over.
Who's joking?
Fluttershy said with an acting smirk as he walked over to the bed.
I'm downright serious about this.
Fluttershy, think for a second.
Rainbow added nervously.
This isn't like you at all.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Rainbow.
Fluttershy said in a role quite well.
I'm not this shy, timid girl you and the others think I am. There's more to me than you can imagine.
Fluttershy,
Dash said, almost enthusiastically.
you're scaring me.
Good.
Fluttershy wickedly chuckled a little too well.
That's what I want.
As part of the act, Fluttershy walked over to the dresser and rummaged through it, fancy pulling out a long, prod-like paddle.
Fluttershy, what are you doing with that?
Rainbow said like she almost meant it.
Put that down!
Oh, I think not, Rainbow.
Fluttershy caught up 2 months in a roll as he sat straight back to bed.
I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Fluttershy!
Rainbow meeked, making herself sound as insecure as possible, while pretending to struggle against her binds.
Keep away from me with that!
Now, stop screaming and hold still, Rainbow Dash.
Fluttershy commanded, as she turned Rainbow Dash on her side as much as she could.
It'll be fun if you keep moving.
She raced to chuckle.
But then again, maybe it will.
Fluttershy?
Rainbow Dash gasped as the paddle reached its height.
No! 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 No!
The paddle came down on Rainbow's side as hard as it could. Unfortunately, Fluttershy ended up swinging too hard, and as a result, the leg's bed broke, causing Rainbow Dash to tip off the bed and hit the floor while banging into the shelf beside the bed. The resulting jar caused the books to fall off. What's more, it began a chain reaction that knocked over the dresser beside the shelf, which in turn caused the table in the corner to crash. A jar of red paint on the desk was sent flying, crashed at Rainbow's feet, drenching Rainbow Dash in the walls with its contents.
Oh my!
Fluttershy gasped in her soft voice, dropping her roll as she addressed the prismatic girl.
Are you alright, Rainbow?
Get the lights!
Rainbow ordered in a harsh whisper.
Get the lights before anyone sees!
Doing what she was told, Fluttershy raced over and flipped the light switch before turning back towards Rainbow.
Rainbow, what's wrong?
Oh, I think I threw out my back!
Prismatic responded with a groan.
Oh dear.
Fluttershy said in concern.
Rainbow, I'm so sorry.
It's alright, Flutters.
Rainbow replied with gritted teeth.
You didn't mean it. Just help me up and get me to the doctor. Don't breathe a word about this to anybody. Too embarrassing.
So, yeah, you weren't kidding when you said that Rainbow had an accident. Applejack commented to Fluttershy.
I had to spend the whole day in the hospital while they examined my back.
Rainbow Dash explained.
I only just got out.
I'm sorry if I didn't sound convincing. I was having a hard time covering for Rainbow.
Fluttershy admitted. Can't figure you were, Applejack commented.
So I guess that explains why you had Rainbow Dash's clothes earlier today,
Rarity figured. Fluttershy nodded.
I was having them cleaned while she was gone. Still, If you already told us about what happened last night, we wouldn't have said. Rarity went on. Why in the world would you decide to keep this a secret from us is beyond me. Suddenly, her eyes lit up in realization. Unless, so I picked up from there. Are you, and you... With a sigh, Rainbow Dash reached out and took Fluttershy's hand, the timid girl gently squeezing Rainbow's hand back. Yeah, it's true. We were going to tell you guys eventually, but we were just too nervous to mention it. Well, this is an interesting way to find out, Pinkie Pie commented with a shrug. But hold on, Applejack commented to Fluttershy. Well, I was in class today. I saw you digging a big hole out by the track and field. You didn't knock anybody off. What was that all about? Oh, you saw that? Fluttershy asked in surprise. Well, don't tell anyone. But Principal Celestia asked me if I wouldn't mind putting in a flower bed beside the track. It's going to be a surprise for the school. Ooh, what a nice surprise! Pinkie Pie squealed. Oh, how about Rainbow Dash's hair with you? Because I gave it to her, Rainbow Dash explained. I know it's a little mushy, but I decided we should exchange a lock of each other's hair. See? I have Fluttershy's. Reaching into her pocket, Rainbow Dash pulled a lock out of pink hair and showed it to the group. You're more romantic than I would have thought, Rainbow, Rarity commented in amazement. Hold on. There's been something that's been bugging me. Twilight piped up as she looked to Fluttershy. This afternoon, Spike and I saw you dragging a big bag through the halls. It looked like you didn't want anyone to see you. At this, Fluttershy turned away, actually looking guilty. Fluttershy? Rainbow Dash asked. I'm sorry, the pink-haired girl cried out in guilt. I was swiping some of the leftover food from the school cafeteria. Huh? Everybody asked. Since so much food gets thrown away at lunchtime, the animals at the shelter are so hungry, I decided to take some of it to feed it to them. Fluttershy explained, feeling ashamed. Told ya, Spike said proudly to Twilight. That's what I was doing after school this afternoon, Fluttershy went on. I didn't want anyone to see me, because I was stealing. She started sobbing. I'm so sorry. Fluttershy, calm down, Rainbow Dash said soothingly. You didn't do anything wrong. Fluttershy's weeping slowed. I didn't. No way, Rainbow Dash said encouragingly. In fact, we could talk to Principal Celestia about donating those leftovers to the shelter. Really? Fluttershy said helpfully. You bet, Rainbow Dash nodded. Oh, thank you, Dashy, Fluttershy cried before giving Dash a hug. Wow, they really are together, Applejack mumbled to Rarity, who merely nodded. And that long thing I saw you pull out of your locker after school? Sunset asked to get the conversation back on track. The paddle we use in our role-playing, Fluttershy explained. Rainbow likes to play rough. But, hold on, Applejack jumped in. What about the other stuff we found here? You guys had enough time to search our whole house before I arrived, Rainbow asked in annoyance. No, she means we broke in earlier, silly, Pinkie Pie elaborated. What? You broke in twice? Rainbow cried in shock before growing. Oh, I just knew Pinkie Skeleton Key would be trouble one day. We were looking for proof that Fluttershy was a killer, Rarity explained, though Dash was still frowning. And her diary said, You broke in and read Fluttershy's diary? Rainbow Dash exploded. That she was really a psychotic killer who was hiding amongst us as a cover and planning to restart her murderous spree. Rarity finished while giving Rainbow a look for interrupting. Hold on. Fluttershy spoke before Rainbow Dash could yell again. What diary are you talking about? The small black book on your desk that said my secrets on the cover? Sunset explained. That's not my diary. It's a story I'm writing as my assignment for English class. I wish I had something that cool for English class, Fluttershy explained. Remember, last week, we were asked to write fictional stories with ourselves as the main characters? Oh yeah, Sunset said with realization. That reminds me, I still haven't finished mine. Well, what about the creepy mask on your desk? Applejack asked. Oh, please tell me Fluttershy's a fan of JoJo in this world. Oh, that's a project I'm working on for art class, Fluttershy elaborated. Boy, Fluttershy has a really disturbing imagination, Pinkie Pie said. Oh, that reminds me. Why do you have that crazy dungeon-like room upstairs? Upon being asked that, the yellow-blue pair looked away, nervous. Embarrassed looks on their faces. Oh, Pinkie Pie said in realization, eyes wide in surprise. Didn't know you guys were into that kind of thing. You'd be surprised how hot Fluttershy is when she's assertive, Rainbow Dash said with blushing cheeks. Like I said, Fluttershy mumbled, Rainbow likes to play rough. What about that photo of us? Twilight asked in confusion.
Rainbow was crossed out, and the rest of us were circled.
I was trying to decide which one of you I should emulate during our next role-playing.
Fluttershy said.
I try to display different personalities when we play. Since I already imitated Rainbow Dash, I thought I'd try impersonating the rest of you.
I didn't know whether to be flattered or disturbed.
Wait, you acted like Rainbow one time?
Piggy asked in surprise.
What, did you put on blue makeup, a rainbow wig, a jersey, and acted like Rainbow Dash was making out with herself?
Fluttershy said nothing, instead turning away with flushed cheeks. Okay, this is starting to get even frightener than when we saw she was axe crazy. Applejack meets with wide eyes.
Are you lunatics satisfied now?
Rainbow Dash asked in annoyance.
Just one more thing,
Sunset said before turning to Fluttershy.
Earlier tonight, you came over to my house. It looked like you had something sharp in your hand. What, this?
Fluttershy asked as he pulled a flashlight out of her pocket. What's obscured can be mistaken for a sharp implement.
When the house lost power, I figured you were stuck in the dark, so I went over to check on you,
she explained.
However, it felt like something heavy was blocking your door. When I figured there was no one at home, I noticed that the lights were on here, so I decided to come home.
Oh, Sunset replied awkwardly, before laughing in an embarrassed manner. Boy, we jumped to some pretty crazy conclusions.
Yeah, Pinkie Pie added. Guess it's a good thing the power of Sunset's house went out before we reached the cops.
You tried to call the police? Rainbow Dash shouted in shock. We really jumped to some crazy conclusions, Applejack explained.
Oh, girls,
Fluttershy said frantically.
I'm so sorry for leading you to thinking I was a killer.
Fluttershy, don't apologize, Rainbow Dash said fiercely. They accused you of being a murderer and stood around our house. They should apologize to you. She's right, Fluttershy, Sunset said when it seemed shy. We're the ones that were wrong here. We're really sorry. Yeah, we really are. Sorry, girl.
So sorry, dear. Sorry, Flutters.
Sorry to misjudge you, Shy.
Oh, girls.
Spike gave Fluttershy a look.
It's Spike. I forgive you.
Well, it's not like we didn't pay for our misjudging, Twice said with a giggle, as she took a look at herself for the first time. Frankly, we all look ridiculous.
Oh my goodness!
Andy cried as he realized how dirty she was.
What a mess. Fluttershy, may I bother you for the use of your bathroom before I leave?
In response, she got a glare from Rainbow Dash.
What?
Randy said stiffly.
I suppose being forced to walk home as I would be penance for my actions. Now, if you excuse me,
she said, walked towards the stairs.
I have to get home and work on covering up the fact that half my hair is missing.
One by one, the feather-covered girls embarrassedly followed Rainbow Flaherty to the stairs, mumbling words of apology. I'll buy it on this whole incident, Applejack says he trailed Rarity upstairs, feeling quite humiliating. Really sorry about the misunderstanding. Twice says he carried Spike up the stairs, limping. Oh, by the way, she said nervously before disappearing.
Congratulations!
Yeah, we're really happy for you, Spike's voice called out.
You bet!
Pinkie Pie hyped up as he followed Twilight.
I'll have a congratulations on getting together party ready for you by the end of the week.
You better be clean for it, Rainbow Dash called out. With the others gone, Sunset was left alone with Rainbow and Fluttershy. I'm really sorry for causing all this, she said guiltily to the pair. Well, you should, Rainbow said bluntly, arms crossed. What do you plan to do to make up for it? I'll talk to the girls tomorrow. We'll clean up the mud we tracked through your house, Sunset offered. Here's a better idea. How about you girls clean the whole house? What? Randy's voice could be heard streaking from upstairs. Done. Sunset agreed to the consequences, despite the loud, wailing moan coming from upstairs. Rainbow nodded pointedly. You can start in the bedroom. Make sure you bring an extra large bottle of Dr. Cleanser. That place is a mess. Sunset sighed. Let me tell you, I've learned my lesson from all this. With a shake of her head, no more nighttime jogs for me, and I'll never take something I overhear out of context again. From now on, I'll gather all of the facts before assuming anything. I just hope you can forgive me for all this trouble I caused.
Oh, of course I can,
Marseille said before nodding. And I promise, the others and I won't tell anybody about you two until you're ready, Sunset added. That could be a very long wait, Rainbow Dash commented. Well, I better go, Sunset said as she headed for the stairs. The others are probably trying to revive Rarity. She turned back one more time. See you tomorrow at school? If you don't get the wrong idea, Rainbow Dash called out. Giving one more sheepish grin, Sunset disappeared up the steps, leaving the blue and yellow pair alone. Rainbow Dash stood there for a few moments, completely silent as she stared in the direction the surprised guests had gone. Finally, with a sigh, she shook her head.
Can you believe that?
The prismatic girl said to her girlfriend. With astonishment, she gestured to where her friends had been.
No, Rainbow,
Fluttershy said soothingly.
they were just concerned something had happened to you. I would have thought you of all people would appreciate loyalty. Besides, it's partially our fault because we didn't tell them about our relationship.
Yeah, I guess that's true,
Rainbow Dash mumbled.
but still, they needed a better reason than that to decide to snoop around the house.
Well, I guess that's true.
Fluttershy conceded.
Imagine.
Rainbow said in amazement.
Them actually thinking that you can kill me. How crazy an imagination can you get?
I know, right?
Fluttershy agreed in surprise.
I would have thought they'd known better than that.
Yeah, I can't believe they actually thought I wouldn't fight back.
Rainbow Dash shook her head again.
I mean, really, you overpowering me? That's a little far-fetched, isn't it?
At those words, Fluttershy's eyes went into mischievous slits.
Oh, really?
She spoke in her dominatrix voice.
Care to put that theory to a test?
Rainbow Dash, guessing onto what Fluttershy was implying, grinned.
You're on.
From outside the house, two voices could be heard.
Hey, look up! Fluttershy, what are you doing?
What's the matter, Rainbow? Unable to fight back against a delicate flower like me?
Wait, no! Don't do that! Stop! Oh, no fair. I want to turn!
Ah!
Another day, another fun little Halloween fic. What? You guys didn't really think I was going to start reading something cupcakes related, did you? Come on! You ought to know me better than that. Besides, everybody's done cupcakes at least once. I like to be one of those channels that's never touched anything cupcakes related at all. But still, fun, sweet, and the comedy was hilarious. I loved everybody's reactions. And after sitting through a couple of epics like Fluttershy and Lost Time, and sitting through those incompletes, reading a short one-off where everybody isn't really having to worry about the dread of battle and all that was relaxing. Well, that was one down. Several more to go. Next time.
Hi, everybody. Bon here. And I'll just say I am very, very glad to once again have another starring role on this show. Yep, apparently the fanfic is going to be something that Martial Art User says is going to be an utter blast. Bonnie? I mean, according to him, he says that something is going to be really amazing. We're all going to enjoy it. Bonnie? What is it, Lyra? Look.
Boo!
A ghost!
Yeah, apparently we got a ghost story coming up. Join us next time for Haunting in Ponyville.
Eep!